Week 8, Eagles versus Commanders, Part 2. Can the Birds pick up another big win? Also, one Eagle on the verge of making history and another brand new Eagle ready to shine. We'll break all of it down here on the show. What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome into A to Z Philly. You know the drill by now. Hit the like button, drop a comment for the algo, subscribe, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the coverage. We are bringing you halftime post-game lives along with other coverage during the week right here on the show. The Eagles getting ready to match up against another division opponent for the second time this season. The Washington Commanders. Last time was way too close for comfort, but can they beat them again? We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about some other guys on the verge of history. One for each team, actually. Give me your thoughts, though, down below. After the Eagles' big win last week against Miami, do you feel confident in them moving forward, even as maybe the best team in the NFL? Give me all your thoughts down below. Before we jump into this, want to shout out to our sponsor of today's show, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA. And receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks right now. Download the app, sign up with the code ATOZPA, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You know my lock of the week on BetMGM. We're going for 6 in a row with A.J. Brown. He's 89.5 yards right now on BetMGM. Eagles listed as a 7-point favorite. I am taking the moneyline Eagles, and I am taking A.J. Brown to do it yet again. Why don't we start there, man? Why don't we start with A.J. Brown? Because, ladies and gentlemen, he is on the verge of making history. He is on the verge of making NFL history this weekend. A.J. Brown is one game away from breaking the record held by Megatron and Pat Sudstill. Most consecutive games with 125 receiving yards or more. He has 5. He has tied them. If he does it again this weekend, that'll be 6. I already gave my thoughts extensively the last couple pieces that we put out here, but A.J. Brown is just on a different tear. He's on a different universe, a different planet. He is virtually unguardable right now. And I think he's going to do it again because I have full belief in A.J. Brown, man. I really do at this point. He is him. He is him. All right, let's talk about the guy on the other side, though. Sam Howell might make history as well this year. The only 2 quarterbacks to have ever been sacked 40-plus times in a season through 7 games. David Carr, back in 2002 as a rookie, 43, and Sam Howell, 40 here in 2023. Now, again, there's an extra game now, right? Keep that in mind. But even taking away that extra game, Sam Howell is on pace for more than 80 sacks. He's getting hit and knocked down almost 6 times a game. Sam Howell, I mean, he's got to be banged up by now. Like, he is on pace to blow that record out of proportion. And if we go to the list that I have here pulled up, it's crazy, man. Number 2 on that list, Randall Cunningham, 72 sacks. David Carr, a couple years later, took 68 sacks. Man, he took a beating. That's why his career didn't prolong. But yeah, I think Sam Howell's going to break this record by a lot. I really do. And the Commanders are giving him no protection right now. And guess what? That feeds right into the Philadelphia Eagles because, ladies and gentlemen, they are 3rd now in the league in sacks. Last time they played Washington, they were out to a slow start. They have done this the last couple years, and boom, out of nowhere, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Carter, all these guys get going. I think the Philadelphia Eagles can, bring Sam Howell down 6-7 times in this game. I think that'll be the key to winning this game. Over the past couple weeks, the Commanders, the Eagles, they just have kind of revealed who they are. Now, again, if you look at the Jets game, that was kind of a one-out game for me. That was an outlier, just a weird week in the NFL. But again, the Eagles got to wear it on the chin. It was a brutal loss. But what did they do? They came back last week. They answered for that call. They answered for that game, and they went out and held Miami, who's the best offense in the league, to record low numbers, this year, especially for a historical type offense like Miami has been, through 6-7 weeks into the season. On the other hand, Washington came out. They'll probably be a little fired up, pissed off. They lost to the New York Giants last week. And, they need some wins here to stay afloat, to stay alive, especially in this division. Right now, they're sitting at 3-4, and it's not going to really look too good for Washington if they go down this week. But I just don't see them really having an opportunity to beat the Eagles. Right now, the Eagles are first in rushing defense in the NFL. They have picked it up, on all accounts there. They are 6th in total defense. And again, they're 3rd in sacks. So if they can get to Sam Howell early in this game and they can contain some of the weapons, Terry McLaurin is probably going to have a really good game. He always does against the Birds. But if they can keep everybody else in check and not let Robinson and Gibson get going out of the backfield, they should be able to win this game handily, in my opinion. I think last time out in week 4 was the golden opportunity for Washington to steal one like they did last year, and they just blew it. Now, that was a very interesting game. If you go back to that game and you think down the stretch, right, Washington comes down with 1:40 to go. They're stockpiling in the fourth quarter. They're making their way back. And that was probably the worst Sean Desai drive that we have seen in his tenure so far. They come down 1:40. They score on the last play of the game. I mean, essentially, the Eagles just left them wide open right in the end zone. And a lot of people criticize Ron Rivera still after that game to this day. Everybody calls him Riverboat Ron. Well, he did not go for 2 points. And on the road in a hostile environment against a really good team like the Eagles, you had a shot to maybe put it away there. He chose not to. He elected to go to overtime. They did. They had the ball first. And then what happened? 3rd and 5, Sam Howell throws it to his left on the sideline. And Terry McLaurin, right? They call baseball the game of inches. Well, football is a game of inches too. They throw it to Terry McLaurin. His foot, his cleat, steps on the wrist of Reed Blankenship and goes out of bounds by just an inch or two. Eagles end up getting the ball back. They go down the field. They win it with a field goal, and that was that. I think that was their best chance. I think the Eagles should win this game. I think they should do it handily, but you can't let this team stay in the game. Even though Washington's numbers right now have really depleted since the last matchup, like looking at their defensive statistics, they're, in the bottom third in every category, passing, rushing. They're just not accumulating as much pressure as I thought they would, right? Those boys up front have been a little bit cold for a few weeks, but, they're always a team that's going to keep it scrappy and competitive against the Philadelphia Eagles. It just always works that way against Washington. They're going to that muck of a field that almost, essentially downed Jalen Hurts last season. That would have been scary. I literally missed them by a couple inches when the fans fell like through the gate onto the field. I'm sure that will change this time since Jalen Hurts literally wrote them a letter in the offseason. But yeah, I think if Jalen can put it all together, and we saw that start to come together against Miami, sure, the Eagles still turn the ball over. They have to limit that. Last time they played Washington, they had 11 penalties. They have to limit that. But they played a much cleaner game. They technically had 0 penalties this past week, even though there were a couple that probably could have gone the other way. The Birds have been playing much cleaner football. Sean Desai has been on an absolute tear, and I think he's going to draw up some ways to get to Sam Howell. And, if AJ can have another one of those games, he had a $175, 2 touchdowns against his team. I think he's going to feast again. I don't think Washington has nearly enough in the secondary. And then if you start to double team AJ, then guess what? You got Devontae, you got Dallas Goedert, and DeAndre Swift, who's another one I want to talk about. Because, man, I think that DeAndre's got to have one of those breakout games, right? Ever since, really that Washington game, the last 4 weeks, he's been cold. If the Eagles can get a $150 on the ground, it should make this offense a lot more smooth and free-flowing and, really kind of connect them together in all facets. And I think they should be able to win this game by about 10 points. What you can't do is what you did last time, and that's keep Washington in this game. Howell can make some throws, but if you're hitting him constantly, there's no way he's going to win this game. Now, one addition to the Eagles this week, Kevin Byard, the hometown kid, big pickup, big trade by Howie, should be playing. Nick Sirianni says the Eagles feel good about where he is. Had a really good week of practice. He won't say how much the veteran safety will play, but looking at the injury report, the Eagles getting Kevin Byard and getting Reed Blankenship back should be huge. Blankenship was a full participant this week in practice. Jordan Davis did not practice today, which was interesting. Hopefully he is able to go, but if not, the Eagles still have a lot of help up front. And Bradley Roby's still out, so we'll probably see a lot more of Josiah Scott. And how about Eli Ricks, who had a huge game, big-time moments last week? I think the Eagles secondary will get a huge addition this week, too, actually, with Blankenship coming back. And I think that the Birds can put the pressure here on Washington, right? They still have some guys dealing with some injuries, especially on the offensive side. So overall, I think this is going to be one of those division games. Might be a slow start, but I think the Eagles can apply the pressure. I think they can come out here and win this game handily and, complete the 2-0 sweep of Washington. They don't have any fans, so all the Birds fans will be traveling to Washington to take over that stadium. And here's what Kevin Byard said about Philly. He says, I'm excited to be here, excited to be in Philly, back home, my hometown where I was born and raised. It is an exciting time for me right now. It feels like home. Hey, how about a bold take? How about Kevin Byard with a pick six? Why not? Why not? But at the end of the day, the Birds looking to take care of business. They have some tough games coming up. They need to handle the easy ones. How will they respond after coming out and making a statement win, gathering everybody back on the hype train? Everybody's feeling good about this team. They're on a high of the season after that win last week against Miami. Can they continue that against Washington? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.